Hey guys, my name is Brett. I guess I would describe myself more as someone who's kind of making their climb up the mountain. As of right now, I just graduated college, class of 2023. My skills are in finances. I'm interning currently as a kind of more of an assistant to financial planning firms. And I'm really into fitness. Just like Nick, I've been in my industry for about 8 years, and I'm kind of looking to make that be the ultimate part-time job for me. So if you ever have any questions, look up the Nova Business on Instagram. My DMs are always open.
Dude, love that. Sweet. So man, I love your idea of Good Morning Douglas. That's so funny. I'm not it's I'm gonna it's this is real life. I'm not even gonna explain Doug. Like think people will just catch on. What are you eating?
I'm sorry to eat on camera, but
No, you're good.
you got to get the protein. It's Greek yogurt. And then I made some I made protein powder. I put it in my coffee this morning with a little bit of water and I'm mixing it. Do you want to let me see? Let's talk about some protein powder for a second, real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say actually something that you've been campaigning that you've been sharing on your TikTok specifically is I guess like nutritional eating and being able to bulk on a budget.
Let me go grab some of my stuff and I'll show you guys right now, if you don't mind.
Yeah, do it. Go for it.
Let me put these blinds up because I know it's very for those at home listening to this, I'm on a small little vacation and there's a lot of windows, but give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, he literally just graduated this past weekend. And yeah, he literally just graduated this past weekend, and I don't know what he's going to get to. Is we've been talking a lot about how we're going to blend his financial, his how do I say, authority as a financial advisor, and bring attention to him as a financial advisor, but also mixing his passion for fitness that he's always had. And how do you blend the two? So one of the things that I've been advising him on is actually to um, show how, and where we both agreed on, we talked about it and we both kind of came to this conclusion and I supported it, is show how to bulk on a budget or show how to eat on a budget. Because if you have a little bit more understanding of what you're eating, how you're eating, and where you can get it from, there's no reason as to why you can't take care of your health. It's one of the things that we've talked about. What do you got for us?
So I'll say, let's start off with the protein powder that I use every day. And I actually do subscribe and save on this. It's literally it's a tub.
The legit tub.
It's a legit tub. Isopure low carb protein.
You want
This
to break
morning,
that down?
yeah, I'll break down my whole breakfast, bro. Like this morning for breakfast, I'm having like no fat Greek yogurt.
Mhm.
Probably could have, that's probably going to have a little bit more carbs on it because in a lot of times to get rid of the, fats, you might take something from that has a little bit more carbs, but we could get into that a little bit deeper. If we do go into that, I would like to like read an article first before explaining my views on it. So that way I have the right stuff. The reason I choose Isopure is because for breakfast, I want something that's not really going to be filling for the most part because I don't want to like shove stuff down my stomach because then that kind of makes me a little bit more like tense throughout the day. It's more just a mental thing.
Mhm.
Let's look at the macros in this. So we have 110 calories, 25 grams of protein, 1 gram of fiber, which isn't really that important, but zero sugars. I don't know if you probably can't see this, but zero sugars is one of the biggest things to have in protein because you don't want your protein powder to come from sugar. You don't want your sugars to be in your protein. I'll tell you that. If you're trying to be lean, which I'm trying to get this summer, also, this is full of vitamins. And taking this, you probably could get away with taking less vitamins than you probably should. I'm not telling you to do that, but like just looking at this, calcium, 25% of your daily needs.
Mhm.
Iron 4%. But if you eat vegetables like edamame, you should be good. And I eat edamame as well. And I eat
Mhm.
what is it called? Sunflower seeds and a lot of other stuff. We'll just talk
Yeah,
about
dude, your sunflower seed video was ridiculous. Like that's a very silly, like absurd bag of sunflower seeds that you're buying, but you're saving so much, I bet, on just being able to, I guess, shop bulk.
yeah.
Shop
So
bulk to be bulk.
yeah. Then I go for when I get my micro ingredients, this is creatine. This is a kilo of creatine. That's 2.2 pounds, and that's gonna last me a whole year. 30 bucks.
Everything you have in front of you today, do you actually mind giving me the link so I can put this on YouTube? Like when I put this on YouTube, I want to give people the links of what you're using.
And then this is ashwagandha extract. This is legal. I know it kind of sounds like a funny name. Bulk Supplements is a company that I kind of like. They're raising their prices right now. This is a 2-year supply of ashwagandha, I believe. It's another kilo. It's basically what you take that for is it kind of just helps your brain process stress is the only way I know how to explain it. And we can
Have you
talk.
noticed? Have you noticed the benefits of the ashwagandha?
Yeah, I take it more before bed. I know for a while, it was it was a spiritual experience. I'd say for a while, just because I started taking it, and you have like dreams of your life. You know what I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
flashbacks, dreams, and stuff. And like this is gonna sound weird, but like reconnecting with like long dead loved ones, like a lot of weird dreams for me. So I don't know if that's for everybody, but like
Bro, it's you're making it sound like the heart fruit or whatever they call it from Black Panther.
oh my god,
Do you bury yourself in dirt when you go to bed too before you drink this?
nah, probably just like protein powder.
Bury yourself in protein powder,
Yeah.
eat your ashwagandha before bed, Greek yogurt in the morning.
Well, ashwagandha really replaced melatonin for me because melatonin has like I talked to a secretary once and she told me that she used to take melatonin before bed, but she's like, yeah, the dreams are too intense. So when you
Mm.
take these supplements that kind of like relax you, like
Mhm.
you're 100% gonna have crazy dreams for the first few weeks. I just put creatine in this, so it's now
Mhm.
creatine, protein, coffee, and then Greek yogurt. That's breakfast.
Love it. Love it. All right. I actually want to, so I know that a lot of what we talk about, business, life, relationships, like all of it kind of blends together. I've also known Brett for about what, 7, 8 years now. We met through a company, Key Lime Cove. We were both lifeguards. I trained him on one of his first days and got him used to the facility, showed him how to, it was an indoor lifeguarding facility. And I just showed him the rotations, nothing special. It's not like I, trained him to be Batman or anything, unless that's what you want to tell people. But no, yeah, we connected pretty quickly, and I don't know, we've had a really cool relationship, I would say, since we even fell away for a little while, and then like a couple years reconnected, and it was like nothing ever really changed. But yeah, dude, business. Let's talk some of the business stuff we wanted to bring up today. What were you interested in talking about?
I was more looking to talk to you about like remote employment and how you think it's going to just like change the world. Because I'm in in a county right now that
Mhm.
has max 35,000 people in it, and it's about the size of it's about twice the size of Lake County with like less than 10% of the population. But I look at this place and I'm like, you could honestly be a CEO right now, living up here, making $300,000 a year. I don't know if that's like low or high, but just looking at like the home prices, the home price here, it's pretty cheap for the most part, and you could literally just need a Wi-Fi connection, and you're good for life. You know,
Mhm.
like just your thoughts on that type of like this is you're digital. You know, so like
Yeah,
what's your super digital opinion?
the super digital opinion. I've given a lot of thought to this, and man, there's more study that I want to do on it. I want to lead with that. Like, by no means am I an expert on this, but I do have my own personal thoughts and I guess expectations and hopes for what the remote development or industry is looking like. And And you're exactly right. Like it's opening up possibility, right? And it's not just possibility for the operator, the employee, the staff member. Like it's opening up possibility for I think companies too. And I've seen a lot of companies not want to steer into remote because there is some degree of uh, I guess heart and soul that comes with being able to show up to the office and connect with your team. But
I
for a
agree,
lot of
agree with you.
yeah, and I know, dude, I know you go into the city, don't you? You take like a whole morning commute to the city, like almost voluntarily to connect more with Northwestern, right?
I've done that before with our advisor that we talked to. I know I'm not doing it this weekend because I'm literally like
Mhm.
I'm closer to God than I am to Chicago. I'll tell you that.
Right. You're on a mountain somewhere. Um, but no, so what I'm getting at though is there's
Mhm.
not only opportunity for people, for the average person to like reclaim more of their life and to just live it and not spend like a majority of their time on commute, of their living time that they have between birth and death on commute, or just doing nonsense and like trying to find the time, scratching for the time to relax, to do things that they love. To I know a lot of people don't even have like they've not even discovered something that they're passionate about and want to lend themselves to, which I think is
Mhm.
it's a shame. But also on the business side, on the company's side, like you could reduce costs by I don't even know, like not having a freaking building if you don't need it. If you can go completely digital, how much are you saving yearly by not having to pay for operating an entire facility?
Well,
Um,
it's crazy you mentioned that because I'm thinking like you're kind of as a business you are offshoring costs in a manner. If you really look at it, you're not going to be paying as much for electricity, toilet paper, surprisingly enough. You know,
right?
general cleaning fees. So it kind of puts the employee like they have to get their own office. They have to like example for you, you're in your own quote unquote office right now. You know, it's
Mm-hmm,
like you're paying for your toilet paper, you're paying for your electricity, you're
mm-hmm.
paying for your water. Like one of the big things at financial planning firms, this I've even seen this in Edward Jones when I was a little bit younger, looking to meet with somebody before I wanted to become like be in the financial planning industry.
Okay.
The biggest thing that they do, and it's like a small courtesy, but it's literally just giving people water. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like you can probably buy this in bulk and make it like 30 cents a piece. Not actually, but you get the exaggeration.
Yeah. I'm actually curious from a marketing standpoint, what's the difference between offering a cup of water versus a bottled water to a client or to somebody that you work with? Like, is there a better perceived experience when you're handed a bottle of water because you feel like the person spent on you and didn't just, run that shit from the tap? But that's neither here nor there. Coming back to my thoughts on remote, I think that it's awesome. I think that people shouldn't be afraid of it. If anything, companies and clearly the people, I think, have like we've seen the reaction. This whole Great Resignation thing. I'm not even going to air quote it because it's real. The whole Great Resignation thing, like what came out of COVID. My personal thought on the idea of the Great Resignation is, and like literally from day one, is people have always felt like they've been under somebody else's thumb. Like they've always had to answer to somebody else. And whether that's an issue of they just didn't know their options, they were lazy. There's this awakening in the world right now where you can go and get your own. And it's just so much more possible than people thought. And it just comes back to possibility, dude. Like it's crazy. I think that the companies they should really start steering more and more into where can we support people on remote and see that it can also benefit them because I was talking to somebody recently about this and they it's actually my girlfriend's dad. He is able to bust out more work, more valuable work in time, and he loves to work, he loves to do what he does. um, he's able to be more efficient and a better employee, I guess, to his company by working remote because he doesn't have to go to the office and, waste time with small talk, with, going between. He works at a big firm. So like there's a lot of floors that sometimes he has to run between.
Right.
And, that cuts more time out of your day to just do a good job. And it's like, do you really need to go 8 hours a day to work, 2 to 3 hours of transit to, you can program at your computer all day? I don't know. That's where I want to end it. But
No, I'm with you
remote's
100%.
awesome.
I think I'm with you 100%. And that's why, like, I was even talking to my dad, like, this weekend about, like, where would I like to end up when I'm done with, like, climbing the ladder, and where do I want to live at home? Do I want to live in Chicago? Do I want to move to Milwaukee? And I said, no, I want to move to where, like, the mountains are. I want to move to where the waterfalls are. I want to move to, like, I went canoeing this morning, and that's how I woke myself up. And I literally heard birds chirping, and I looked outside the window, and it's like, oh, I don't see like I'm not in a subdivision. I don't see all these high buildings. It's like the ability for people to be comfortable. I think it's interesting if we can do remote well and people can kind of move out of these giant congested cities. And some people might be happy in those cities. And I'll say that. I know a lot of people who love the fact that they just get to walk 15 minutes anywhere they want to go and have
accessibility.
They love it,
Yeah.
whereas for me yesterday, to get a canoe in the water, I had to walk, like, I had to carry it on like this, and I had to walk down a hill, and the hill was like a steep hill, and I had to go down like 50 feet just down.
Bro, your morning is a scene out of Mulan.
Exactly. And that's what I wanted.
It's kind of cool.
That's what I want it to be. It's like, I want to be able to wake up at 7 o'clock every day, make my little coffee, like literally have an hour to myself. And that's what I would like. But I know a lot of people who tell me, they're like, oh, I love the city. Oh, I love this. If you love it, awesome. I'm willing to work in the city, but I'm not willing to live my whole life in a big area.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like lines. That's just me. I'll play nice when I have to, but like in my heart of heart, I know it's like I would love to move somewhere that's just more scenic, and I don't think the city is very scenic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah, I love that, and that just goes to illustrate too, especially like we're in an entrepreneurial revolution, right? And honestly, I was also having this conversation too with somebody before I push this much further. I want to say this. So, in this entrepreneurial revolution, a lot of people, again, I think, are seeing that they can really design their life. I think that's the thing that's hot right now, is people are awakening to the fact that they can design their life. And you illustrate perfectly that good life that you've designed, that you've taken the time to consider and to apply yourself to and to fight for. Like, that is a little bit different for everybody, like you're saying. Some people do respond better to city living, where others, they need and crave and desire the wilderness, and scenery, and the type of peace of heart and mind that brings. Now you got me thinking about, where's my ideal living situation? I want to live by a volcano, I think, somewhere in like Iceland, or at least have a spot over there that I can routinely visit. But
oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, that's really cool that you bring that up though. So how and this is what's cool too, is like, you're not going to get there without your specific trade. Being able to financially plan and do that gives you so much leverage. Have you noticed that, or like, do you agree or no?
I would agree if I was making the kind of money that I see some people make in this industry, then I would say, oh yeah, dreams are coming true, because some people in the financial services industry might make 10K their first year, and then they might make 200K the next year, and then it's back down to 10K. But when you're past the 5-year mark, it's kind of more steady, and it's probably around like maybe 100,000 or more.
Okay.
So like, let's say that you put down a good down payment on a house, like in a more rural area. You got to be comfortable with that idea of the fact that my closest market is 15 minutes away,
Mhm.
Like I'll be in a car and I'll drive 15 minutes and they might not have everything I need. And Amazon takes like 2 weeks to get here versus 2 days, you know?
So there's some things that you do have to sacrifice, but I think the biggest thing that I'm hearing here though is there's a difference between earning power and saving power.
Yeah.
And um how do I want to say this? You almost make it more attainable by having your expenses, your planned expenses, and that would include like time, or the thing that you're trading would be like if you were to live in the mountain, like it takes a little bit longer for Amazon to get there. It takes, like, if you're cool with those and that's a reasonable time expense that like you don't need something so immediately, which is a leisure or pleasure to begin with, like doing something like this, or even I know you've been talking about you just want to be able to just travel more. Like,
Yeah.
if earning power is just the issue, I mean, that's something that, over the course of your life, you just develop anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I get you. And I think my whole, um, I guess like everybody has stuff that they find like motivating. I know a lot of people who love the city who are motivated by the fact that they can go see Taylor Swift or Morgan Wallen like twice a year whenever they want. But like for me, it's I don't like to spend money on those experiences for the most part, unless it's something like I've never seen this mountain range. I've never seen this part of the country. I've never been to Canada, you know? Like my zenith and my like highest level would be someone who's looking to live in an area of the country where they could just literally walk or get in a car and then 30 minutes later they're somewhere gorgeous, you know?
Mhm.
Like, I don't know, those are just some of my thoughts on the, you know, let me say, how do I phrase this better? Those are just some of my like thoughts and opinions on like going digital. Like you're super
Yeah.
digital.
I was
I
gonna
want
say, I was gonna say, let's bring it back to why, like, the initial question was about remote, right? This is
yeah.
where this all stemmed from. Go ahead.
Sorry, I know that we both have ADD and ADHD, so like sometimes you might hear us go on tangents. But
Yeah, seriously, but we'll come back around. We have to.
next topic.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, I gotta say too, thank you for showing up today. I know that we've been more and more like working on this is something that I'm also noticing, like the difference between people who show up and people who don't, and my personal belief in those people. Like, it's just crazy. You build a completely different reputation as somebody who shows up versus somebody who doesn't. And that's coming from somebody who for the longest time struggled to show up.
I always knew that you were going to get where you wanted to go. I'll tell you that.
I'm getting there.
I know that you just got to keep going because you are at the cusp of, they call it Web3, but I think it's like the fourth industrial revolution and the first digital revolution, or maybe it's the second, whatever. What, you get the point. You're at the cutting edge, you know?
I'd like to hope so, but we can talk more about like Web3 and I guess the terrain, like the digital terrain that's coming up in the future, and that's actually already even here. Um, but thank you, man. Thank you for the belief. Uh, I really don't know what else I want to talk about today.
Oh, I have a lot of questions for you.
Oh, hit me.
All right. I know that YouTube's. Let me pull up this article because I believe I read somewhere that YouTube has a new CEO, and this CEO wants to make NFTs and other parts of like cryptocurrencies available on YouTube. So like,
Okay,
let me look
it's
it
not
up.
it's not Susan anymore. She's not the
Let me look.
she's not
No,
CEO anymore.
she's gone. So the new CEO of, let me see if I can text this to you and then I could send you the link and then you can pull it up on your end. It's the new YouTube CEO is looking to leverage more into Web3 tech like the NFTs and the metaverse.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine instead of watching a YouTube video, like you put on and it's like all around you, you know?
Yeah. That dude, that's literally one of the things that I am excited for, but also have a fear of and concerns about is like Ready Player One is becoming more and more of a reality.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly, I think the big concern, the cautionary tale that we've received from many stories like Ready Player One, like even Fahrenheit 451, I know that has to do more with censorship. But it's like the utopian dystopia idea. Like everything is connected, but not really. Like, what do you sacrifice in that as a result of taking that on? I'm opening your link now.
Yeah.
Which we'll also link in this video. Go to YouTube to watch it for any audio listeners. Okay. But so wait, what was your question about this?
So my question is basically generally some of your thoughts on the prospect of YouTube. Like you might be able to buy cryptocurrencies, which basically is like being able to exchange. It basically a cryptocurrency to me is like being able to turn your dollars into like a British pound. It's basically like a currency exchange at this point, isn't it? So imagine you're being like fed these videos where you're trying to watch a PewDiePie video where it's like, oh, like, do you want to buy some Ethereum? Here are some things on Ethereum. And it's literally like to me, it almost seems like, what if the British pound was advertising like you should leverage investing into us? You know, it's like, who's really making the money off of those like things? Is it the miners? When I say miners, I mean the cryptocurrency miners, not like little children. Is it the owner of YouTube? Is he going to make money? Because he probably is going to make a lot of money off of advertising. But like,
we're at 10 minutes.
Yeah, I guess we'll close with some stuff like that, because to me it just seems like, you know, where's the money for all this stuff? You know, like who's getting paid? Is it really going to be good for the consumer? That's like one of my biggest questions is cryptocurrencies might be the future. They might replace the dollar. They might replace the British pound. But are they really, like, at this point in time, is it a good investment? You know?
So I've lightly skimmed this article, but I'm going to address the things that you're bringing up. Where's the money? As long as this is what I've been dealing with on a daily basis with a lot of the people that I've been consulting, is when it comes to like sales, right? The first thing that I think has to be really considered is where is the value and like what's the value exchange? And if there's not a sense of value in an exchange, then it's not substantial, and one end doesn't bite it because it's a lie. We've seen already, at least from my personal observation, there's going to be people that respond to this that don't agree. We'll call this first round of like NFTs, or first to however many rounds that NFTs has been trying to get off the ground. We'll call that like a trial phase or a trial period, or a public trial period, because I do think that at some point it's going to be more generally well accepted and more accessible, and we're going to have greater guidelines and outlines of how it's applied. Regulated, yeah, compared to traditional currency that, you know, the cash dollars that we hand at Target, the swiping of our card that vouches for, I have this money in my bank, please take it out from my what is it, whatever account that this card is linked to. So it's all the same. It all comes down to first and foremost, is there value and do people accept it? Does the general public accept it? Do vendors accept it? Do government accept it? I don't know or can't say whether or not this is going to eventually replace. I think there may be a necessity at some point too, due to resources, and like it's easier to just say you have the money and quote unquote like say, oh yeah, this is, you know, this digital coin or NFT is representative of your money, versus having to actually print it. Because even when you print it,
Yeah.
that
But
costs money.
you can mine currency, and like
Uh-huh.
that's what gets to me when I think of last year. If you were a currency miner, you would honestly think that you were going to be a billionaire. But this year, with I believe it's like the raising of rates at the Fed under Jerome Powell. Do you know anything about this? To where it's making like
No.
so there's a obviously the economy is not doing the best it's ever been. So
Which that's something else that I wanted to touch on is like through decisions like this, somebody that's as like a company that's as big, well known, and accepted and loved as YouTube, like they could really set the new trend of not trend, but you're making a new economy. Or I don't know if it would be making a new one or if it's just expanding, if it's just an expansion pack, a DLC, right? Um, but like that's all it is. And when you make that new economy, this is my final statement, because I want to hear what you have to say about this. But when you make that new economy, like yes, there's going to be money in it. Who makes the money? It's going to be the people who understand where the value is at and where the true value is at and can execute on providing that value. That's where I was going with that. Sorry, go ahead.
I think that's a good ending point, because I know that we are going to, at least what I think I'm going to do, because I know that there may be enough people to watch this to like, kind of criticize our takes. But my main mission is just to get as educated as possible. So I'm going to read up some more about like cryptocurrencies and kind of learn more about them, because for our next conversation, I think it would be good if we like delve a little bit into that and then delve a little bit more into like the fitness aspect of things that I would like to promote some of this stuff, as well as like maybe some like minor financial planning, like at least little tips that I'm taking in myself. And I won't like say it's an advisement. I'll say it's more just stuff that I like to do to kind of like boost myself. But I guess for the tips that I have for today, if you 100% are looking to find like a creamer that's not going to give you too much, sugar, if you had the time to add just a little bit of protein powder, a little bit of water into a 10-ounce cup of coffee, so like 2 ounces of water, 8 ounces of coffee, and then a little bit of protein, and then mix it with a spoon for about maybe like 2 minutes. Tastes good. It kind of tastes it's like the chocolate. It's like the chocolate mixed with the coffee. I love it, and
I'm gonna have to check that out.
yeah, that's I guess one of the takeaways that I want someone watching this today, for at least me. Creatine is also really good for you, but make sure that you drink a lot of water. Make sure if you take your 5 grams of creatine that you at least have like a gallon to 5 liters of water. If you take any of these supplements, if you're lifting, please drink more water. That's one of the takeaways that I want someone watching this to have is I'm literally about a liter of water in, and I've been awake for maybe an hour and a half.
So okay, today, Brett's big thing is more regarding fitness and physical health. But I don't know. Do you want to take a moment? We got about 3 minutes here. Do you want to take a moment to plug financial services again? Open DMs, that deal.
Yeah, if you're interested in having a conversation with me, I know that my company is a little bit more strict in terms of compliance. So I can't really advertise their services, but I'm going to advertise myself as somebody who would at least like to have a conversation with you. It doesn't have to go anywhere. It literally could just be us talking about like, hey, let's set a time for us to have like a short conversation and just do like a little wellness check. Like you don't have to pay me for it. We literally just have a conversation. I'm someone who I just got all A's in my last semester. I'm someone who takes value in giving people like their time. I give you your best time. I'll make sure that I'm here for you. I'll show up. So if you just want to have a conversation about fitness, money, or just goals, or literally anything along those lines, the places that I'm looking to have a career in, The Nova Business is my Instagram handle. So feel free to reach out to me.
And again, that will be in the description section of this YouTube video. for any audio listeners. But again, follow him at the Nova Business on Instagram. And yeah, he means it. I've known him for a while now, and he is very consistent about showing up and just being here to be a helping hand. It doesn't have to go anywhere. Business, it's not a gotcha. I talk to him about finances, and sometimes those are really tough conversations to have. I've had to eat my fair share of humble pie regarding finances through good conversations with this man. So we're going to close this out. Again, my name is Nikolai McFly. Thank you for showing up to Good Morning Douglas. You can find me at Nikolai McFly pretty much on any of my platforms, any platform that's there. The most one that I'll respond to though is probably Twitter or Instagram. Keep live conversations going on Twitter. And then of course this comment section where you're finding this video. Share it with somebody that you think could use this as a morning wake up, some sort of proxy coffee. And I think that's basically all we've got, man. You guys, I guess my own personal plug, why you're reaching out to me, marketing. It's conversations like this. We do a lot of discovery. We figure out what it is that the message that needs to be shared is. And then we create a way to execute it, and we execute it. So yeah, feel free to reach out to me on any platform. I check my DMs everywhere. So,
all right. Brett. I think we're about to run out of time. So I just want to say thank you, Nick, for getting us started, Dude,
yeah. We kind of just rolled with it today. We've been talking about it and I was like, let's just do podcasts now. We're podcasters. Cool. Thanks for your time, Brett. Love you, bro. See ya.